I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. It was definitely a good day that day. Hello friends, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god. You guys are probably like, Lauren, didn't you just unhaul like 35 books like 3 weeks ago? Why do you have a haul video now just a few weeks later? And to answer your question, I wasn't expecting that either. Little story time. I was working, just doing some stuff on my laptop when my mom calls me down and she's like, Lauren, why is there this big box here for you? So I go down the stairs, there's this gigantic box. It's heavy, I don't recognize where it's from, I don't know what I could have ordered that was so big and heavy, and just roll the clips.
My mom told me to come downstairs and there was a big package for me and I was like, I don't think I've ordered anything, so I can't imagine what this package would be. And let me tell you something quickly before I show you, but I entered into win a contest at my school, McMaster, and basically all you had to do was like, it was like an Instagram story and it was like, tell us a book you've read recently that you really enjoyed. And I was like, oh, I've read Caraval by Stephanie Garber, I really liked that book. And then apparently I won like the giveaway thing, so I was like, that's so cool. I didn't know what the prize was. I thought it was like gonna be like 20 bucks to Indigo or something. Let me show you. Okay, I can't really tell, but can you see how many books this is? This is like 20 books or something. But I think that's so cool that I just won this thing, and so I want to share. I'm not going to keep all of them, obviously, because I don't have a need for all of them, and they're not also, especially all what I normally read, but some of them do look interesting, so I thought I would show you guys.
So I won a big box of 22 books from my school for participating in an Instagram story contest where all I had to do was submit a book that I had recently read that I enjoyed. What? I thought the prize was gonna be like a gift card or something for like 20 bucks. Like that's a reasonable prize, right? No, it was a full set of books, which I'm gonna be sharing with you guys today. These books are not like young adult fantasy or fictional stories. They're all like non-fiction, like business, self-help, just general information books. So if that's not super exciting to you, that's totally fine, but these are all the books that I got, and about 10 of them actually interest me in some way or another, and then there's 12 other ones that don't really interest me, but regardless, either way, I'm probably gonna only end up keeping a few for myself and then seeing if my family or friends want any, and then if not, I will donate the rest because obviously I don't have a need for 22 new books. But like, I'm just blown away the fact that and the fact that I actually like just love to read, like the fact that I just got so many books. I'm still in shock. It was definitely a good day that day. Either way, I thought I would share with you guys the books that I did get, and I'm gonna start off with the 10 books that I actually am excited about, and then I'll kind of work my way into the books that, you know, don't interest me as much, so I'll probably go through those a little bit faster. I'm excited nonetheless because it's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. How many times do you just get a random box full of books delivered to your door? I don't know. So I'm gonna start off with the book I am most excited for in this box, and it's actually a book I've been wanting to buy for myself for months, but I've just kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, do I really have the money to spend on books right now? You know, all that kind of stuff. And then it came in this box and I was like, oh my god, I need this book. And I actually heard the author speak during a virtual event during my university's welcome week, so from there I was hooked. I've read one of his books before called The Happiness Equation. In elementary school we read the Book of Awesome, and now I have You Are Awesome by Patricia. The little slogan here is how to navigate change, wrestle with failure, and live an intentional life. It could not be more applicable than it is this year. And I'm genuinely just so excited to read this book because one, I've been wanting to read this book for like months now, and I have it, which is so exciting. I love the cover, I think it's so fun, and one of my goals that I really want to have in the new year is to just read more nonfiction books in some regard. And so I think this book is going to be a perfect way to start me off in the new year, just because I'm so excited to learn about all these different things in this book. And honestly, like, if you've been struggling with 2020 much like I have, I'm sure this book's gonna be great. And it's called You Are Awesome, and I think we all need that reminder more than ever these days. So I am so excited to read this book. It also doesn't seem too long, which is pretty good because, you know, I want to finish books and not read super long 800-page books all the time. So with that, I'm very excited to read this book. It's probably going to be my favorite on this list, so I wanted to start off with it. Next up is a business book called Brand New Name. Now, obviously, I don't really know all that much about what all of these books are about, but this is a business book more specifically a marketing book to kind of figure out the importance of branding, how to brand your business, how the importance of a brand name, colors, etc. And I think that's so cool. At this point in time, I currently don't have any business ideas or things I really want to start other than like this YouTube channel, which is basically my self-run business, I guess. But I think this is just going to be such an interesting book to read, and especially, like I said, I do want to read more business books in the new year. I think this book is going to be such an interesting read, and especially if I ever do want to start anything, even if it's something small, I think having some prior knowledge on like branding is going to be very important. Also, I think I want to go into marketing, so anything in that regard just really excites me, and I don't have too much information in the world of marketing quite yet, in like formal education wise, so I think just reading this is going to be a very interesting read for me. Next up is another book I am very excited for, but it is called Think, Do, Say, and the little slogan is how to seize attention and build trust in a busy world, which I think is going to be very interesting, and something I can really apply to like my social media journey and stuff, because obviously I post videos here, I also post some photos on Instagram, and so I definitely could step up both of my games on both platforms, and I think this book will probably have some really good tips. Also, I love the colors on the front of this. I think they're so pretty, and like I said, more business books, more knowledge, and hopefully it can also help me be more successful on like my YouTube platform, Instagram platform, and just like make for a better experience for everyone involved. So with that, I think I'm very excited to read this book as well. My next book here is one I'm not like as excited for, but it still sounds pretty interesting to me. It's called Innovation Plus Equality: How to Create a Future That is More Star Trek Than Terminator. Now the thing is, I might be a little young for this book because I haven't watched Star Trek or Terminator, so that's one thing. But I think it basically follows kind of economics and the different innovations and how it's kind of changed our society and stuff. So I think in terms of a business book, it would be very interesting to read. So honestly, I think it would be a pretty cool read. Again, it is pretty short, so I think that would be cool. Again, I'm not as excited for this book as the other ones I've named so far, but it definitely sounds something outside of my reading comfort zone, which could make for a very interesting read. I also recently read my first historical fiction, which I absolutely loved, so new genres are always something I want to give a try. This next book is called Indigenous Relations: Insights, Tips, and Suggestions to Make Reconciliation a Reality. Looks like this. And earlier this year, I actually bought technically the first book in this series, so I thought that was really cool how I now have both of them. I didn't even know there was a second book, so I think that's just really cool. I have yet to read both of these books, but I really want to read them at some point in the future because I think there's a lot of knowledge out there that I have yet to learn, and especially about like indigenous like communities in Canada. I think it's really important to learn about because we don't really learn all that much like within schools and just in general. So hopefully by reading this, I will actually learn some more things and figure out maybe a way to like help with conversations. I don't really know, but I think it's gonna be good for me to read these books. So next one is actually a book I'm thinking of giving away to my friend who's interested in publishing, if she's interested in it, but it is called Toronto Trailblazers: Women in Canadian Publishing. I don't necessarily personally have any interest in this book, but I think my friend might because she wants to go into publishing, kind of that route. So I think that would be kind of cool. I like the cover, but like I said, I don't have personally too much interest in this, but I just think my friend might like it. This next one is called The 360 Corporation: From Stakeholder Trade-Offs to Transformation. Again, another business book, and I think this just kind of follows like all of the different aspects that go into a corporation, the social aspect, the operational aspect, and just learning a whole lot of interesting thing here, like trade-offs as well. When you give up something for something else, how does it pay off? So I think that could be very cool, and again, like I said, I am interested in business, and so any kind of knowledge I can get in that very broad industry I think would be very good for me. So I'm gonna maybe look into this one into the new year. This is another business book called Selling Snake Oil: Investment Lessons from the World's Greatest Frauds. Now I am kind of interested in this, but I think some of my friends might be as well. It seems very interesting just in the sense of like how the world's greatest frauds were committed. Like what? That sounds so cool. And I feel like just reading something like this would be so different than what I normally read. So I don't know, it just draws me in for some reason. And so I don't know, I don't really know all that much else about what it's about, but I have to imagine reading about the world's greatest frauds would have to be some kind of interesting story. This next one is called Governance Solutions, and basically the slogan is the ultimate guide to competence and confidence in the boardroom, which honestly I don't know if it's super exciting to me, but I know maybe my dad might be interested in it, or if not, I would give it away to someone else who might be interested. But I think it definitely could be an interesting read because like I mentioned before, I'm interested in business. And lastly, this is a book that actually interests me a lot, and it's called The Collective Wisdom of High Performing Women, Leadership Lessons from the Study Project. And so I'm all about female empowerment, all that kind of stuff, and I think, you know, this could be a very interesting read to hear what other women have learned in their journeys and things like that. And also, anytime anyone wants to give any kind of advice for anything, chances are they have at least something they know they're talking about. So I have to mention this would be a very good educational read. So those are kind of all of the books that interest me in some way or another. Not all of these books are books I would have picked for myself, but I think the fact that I just got them from my school is just so crazy to me. And obviously I'm going to do my best to give some away or give them to family and friends. So obviously these are not all going to be kept for myself, other than maybe 5 or so that I mentioned that I'm interested in reading. But I don't know, I just wanted to share these all with you because I just find this whole thing so crazy. I will now be jumping into the 12 books that don't really interest me as much, but I just thought I would quickly mention them for the sake of this video. Number 1, we have The Good Fight. Use productive conflict to get your team and organization back on track. Business book, but doesn't really necessarily interest me as much as the other ones I named. More interested on the marketing side of things. This one is called Radical Housewives. Price wars and food politics in the mid-20th century Canada. Doesn't really interest me as much in terms of history. This one is called The Greenhouse Approach, Cultivating Entrepreneurship in Companies and Organizations. It's a book. I have no interest to read it, so I'm probably gonna give this one away. Perfect City, an urban fixer's global search for magic in the modern metropolis. Don't really know what that even means. Charging Ahead, Hydro-Quebec, and the Future of Electricity. Your Digital Undertaker, Exploring Death in the Digital Age of Canada. Blackberry Town, How High-Tech Success Has Played Out in Canada's Kitchener-Waterloo. Very specific. Pulpit, Press and Politics. Interesting. And the last 3 being Break Down the Pipeline Debate and the Threat of Canada's Future. A Future for the Fishery. And this actually interesting kind of coffee table book called A History of Brewed in the North. So with that, those are all of the books that I got from this kind of mysterious book box, which was so exciting to open and just see, like I already said. So I just wanted to share what I got, because I just found that so crazy, and I'm just still so excited about having that opportunity and actually winning my university for the win. So with that, those are all of the books that I'm both excited about and just plan to kind of give away or offer up to other people who might be interested in them. But I will definitely not be keeping all of these for myself, because obviously there's just too many here that I know personally that I'm not going to read. So I'm going to be giving most of these away. Not to worry, I will not just be keeping them for myself. But this was just such a fun experience, and I was so excited to get this big box of books, because how often does that happen in your life, especially when you don't even have to pay for that big box of books? What? It's crazy. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it's super random kind of that I got this and that I'm also just sharing this with you guys, but I thought I just had to, because it just was so fun to me. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed hearing about these different books that I got in this random box from my school. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please comment down below if you've read any of these books and if I should give them a read for myself, because obviously I'm going to be giving them away if not. So if any of them are actually interesting and you've read them, please do let me know. Anyways, that is all from me for this video. Still so excited about all of this. I'm happy to share these all with you, and more or less I'm going to be happy to read some and also give some away to others. And so with that, we're wrapping up this video. I will see you all very soon in the next video. So until then, bye.